Hi, everyone, for joining us. Thanks so much. We're going to make 5 roller bottles, but it's all made with the starter bundle that comes with 12 oils. Over to you, Kim.
All right, so I guess I want to start by acknowledging how hard it is as a parent. Like, I don't think until you actually have kids, you realise how many decisions you have to make. And I know that when I was a single mum, my girls were always sick in the middle of the night, and it was really hard to actually, know whether to take them to the hospital. And, the chemist shop is never open in the middle of the night. And you really don't know what, are they really sick? I mean, even at the moment, Tegan, my youngest, she dropped a log on her finger last night, and I ummed and ahed about whether to take her to the doctors or the hospital to get it x-rayed. And I feel like, all this mum guilt around, what I'm doing and the decisions that I'm making. So, one of the things I loved about having essential oils on hand was that, if I couldn't get to the chemist shop, I could make up my own roller blends, and I knew that it was doing them good. So when I was a kid, I actually had bronchial asthma. And so when the girls were born, I was really, really worried about them getting asthma, because particularly Tegan, she had this rattling chest all the time. And the doctor actually said to me, I think your daughter's going to need, asthma, Ventolin puffers and things like that when she's older. And actually, this rates of asthma are astounding. They actually think that 1 in 9 people have asthma. And
it's just so alarming, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the thing about asthma is that often it's caused by chemicals and things, like that we have in our homes. And these can be damaging because you may not realise it, but your children are breathing them in on a daily basis. And when my girls were little, they used to crawl around on the floor and absorb them through their hands and their feet. And you really don't know, what products are safe. I remember even before, some of you have heard this story, but before my girls were born, I actually went through all the cupboards, the kitchen cupboards, the laundry cupboards, and I threw out everything. I put it all in a plastic tub, and I was like, I can't use this stuff because it causes all these bad things. And my mum was like, just give it away. And I'm like, I can't give it away. Like, I don't poison anyone else's child. And products that we don't realise. I remember getting this baby hamper, and it had baby oil in it, and these baby wipes that had propylene glycol. It had, the most famous body wash for babies, contains sodium lauryl sulfate, like all these ingredients that I'd researched that had bad stuff in it. They were in this, beautiful bundle that the ladies at work had given me. And I was like, I can't possibly just throw this out, but I can't poison someone else's baby. Yeah. And so, these days I actually skip whole aisles in the supermarket because I don't have to walk down, the chemical cleaning aisle, and I don't even walk down the personal care products aisle because I'm buying natural products that are actually good for my kids and good for me. And I guess part of the reason that I started buying all of Young Living's personal care products is that I'm a busy mum and I don't have time to go to the, trouble of reading all the labels in the supermarket. And anyway, I thought I'd show you this photo of my family because my girls are older now, and like Danae said before, lap it up while your kids are young and willing to be on workshops. Tegan asked me tonight if we could take down a video from our YouTube channel of her talking about nasty chemicals that are in your home, in your personal care products. So yes, like Danae, my girls have now got older, and they still use all the products and things like that, but they're not willing to be in videos anymore. So what about you, Amanda? Why did you start using Young Living?
And similar to you, Kim, I was reading so many. Oh, look, there's a nice picture of us there, Kim. Thanks. That's my 2 little ones. They're not so little anymore, but 7 years ago, when I was first introduced to Young Living, that I was the same, reading that Zach. He likes to jump in on a workshop now and then. I was sick of reading the labels too, and I was quite greenwashed at the time that I didn't realize how much that was going to affect, and especially my daughter Addie, and sleep issues, that I just wanted some help. So I thought I was doing a great job looking and reading the backs of labels, but little did I know that I was being quite greenwashed with the fancy labeling and doing the right thing for the environment that I thought. But I really wasn't until and once you know better, you do better. So that's how I ended up loving Young Living. And it's a one-stop shop for me. I don't have to go down all those yucky aisles anymore when it comes to looking after the family. So I'm like that. Yeah. So once I just want to look after these guys and their hormones, so when they don't need to have so much trouble with all the issues in the world going on and all of the environmental factors, I'm doing a great job from inside our home. And I have a saying, for every essential oil I use is one harmful chemical that I lose. So this is great. Essential oils are a great natural alternative to many of the products that contain harmful chemicals that are in our home. So these are seriously a trillion ways that these oils can be used, and we're going to show you just some of the bases tonight. You don't need to be an aromatherapist. You don't need to have studied it, lots and lots of books. You just need to know the basics. And there's three main ways that we can use essential oils on our children. We inhaling them. So whether directly from the bottle or using a diffuser. You don't want to heat essential oils, as they'll lose many of their health benefits. And then you're just left with a nice smell. And if you've paid good money for them, you want to use them and utilize them much more than that. I love to diffuse essential oils in a diffuser for my children just before bed, like in the bedrooms at the moment, before they're heading there very soon. These two are just sitting here drawing at the moment and listening and pulling faces as they do. And I like to dilute them on my children's skin. So, and that be a roller bottle, and we call that a topical application. So I might dilute an essential oil and massage it into their back or roll it onto their feet. Also diluting it with some shower gel base and some Epsom salts and putting that into the bath before they go to bed. This is a great way to calm their nervous system and their bodies down before they go to sleep. You don't mix essential oils with water, so that's why you would put them with a base and the Epsom salts before you put them in the bath, and then run. Otherwise, they'll just float on the top, and they'll just be floating all on their neck there instead of going into their skin all through the water. The third way is to use it in your food or drinks. And for years, they've been using the likes of lemon essential oil, peppermint essential oil in cooking. So we've been using them for a long time. And so not culinary. So as long as you like we have lots of culinary oils in the range of Young Living with the orange and the lemon. So as long as they've been approved for culinary use, they're the ones that I would use.
All right. So the thing I want people to realize is that children are not small adults. There is a reason why, the paracetamol packet actually has a smaller dosage for children. By weight, children actually consume more food, water, and they breathe more than adults. And so therefore, we need to actually adapt the amount of essential oils that we use in our rollers to actually suit the age of the child. Their livers just can't handle, too many, substances. And even though, essential oils are natural, the body does recognize them. And if there's too much of it, the liver will work harder to actually expel those toxins. And that's why we need to make sure that we are diluting the essential oils that we're making. The recipes that we're talking about today are designed for 6 to 12-year-olds. So we're going to make them up in a 10 ml roller bottle. If you have children that are younger than that, then you'll want to sort of divide the number of drops. And we have some graphics and things like that around, how to work out the number of drops for your age child. So if you do have a sort of, say a 3-year-old, you probably want to halve it. And if you've got, a baby, we're probably looking at 1 drop of essential oil in a 10 ml roller, 1 to 2 drops. The other thing, often people want to change out the oils, like they may not have a particular oil that we're using today. That's okay as well. Just don't go over the number of drops that we're talking about. But most importantly, we don't recommend the use of eucalyptus or peppermint with children. So, and that's under 3, because those particular oils can cause respiratory distress. So if you are making them for younger children, just make sure you avoid the blends like RC and Thieves, which contain eucalyptus and even peppermint. All of the essential oils that we're using today come from what I call the beginner's box. And the beginner's box is a great way to get started if you haven't used essential oils before. It's our premium starter kit. And, it's like a first aid kit. It's like how you get started. There's something in there to help you with no matter what. So that is Amanda's showing it.
I had to use the box to put my laptop on, so it had a bit of height. So that's what, some of it's there.
So it's like basically, that's the box that I reach for in the middle of the night. There's something there for their tummy, something there to help them breathe, something to help them sleep, something if they're feeling a bit anxious. All of those things are there in that beginner's box. So, if you haven't already got started with oils, we'll talk about that at the end around how you can grab your own beginner's box. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is sleep. Now, it's super important to actually get into a routine with your children when it comes to sleep. So the first roller we are going to make is for sleep. Now, sleep is actually a 24-hour cycle. We only really think about sleep when it's time to go to bed, but often the behaviours that we do throughout the day, especially for our children, affect how they're going to sleep. I know if the girls have had a really full-on busy day, their minds are overactive and they have difficulty calming down at night. So I start their bedtime routine a long time before they actually go to bed. So things like running a bath, like Amanda talked before about using the bath and shower gel to actually add essential oils to help them, be sleepy. Sometimes hormonal factors can impact on their sleep. I know both of my girls have just hit that age where their hormones are running rampant, and so their hormones can actually impact their sleep. And I guess it's important to have routines before bed. So, I pop the diffuser on in their room before they go to bed to calm them down so that they're actually inhaling it. No screens before bed, says Kim, whose one daughter's still awake downstairs watching TV, because I didn't get a chance to make her go to bed before I did my workshop. But it's really super important because screens before bed actually overstimulate their brain. And then once again, they have difficulty calming down and going to sleep. So there are, some things that you can do. Definitely lavender is one of my favorite oils for calming down and going to bed, and peace and calming. One of the things I love about Young Living oils is the name pretty well tells you what it's for. Not so much the single oils like lavender, clary sage, peppermint, lemon, orange, frankincense, but the blends do. So if you want to know what a blend does, just look at the name. So peace and calming, of course, it's going to calm your children down. Stress away is going to, help with stress, all of those things. So, and Young Living even have what we call a Kid Sense range. And one of the oils that I love in the Kid Sense range is actually called Sleepy Eyes. And it really does, like I've put it in the diffuser even for myself, and you feel your eyes getting, that sort of droopy sleep stuff, and it definitely helps me get a more restful night's sleep. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize that impacts not just on their hormones but even on their sleep is those air fragrances. So like the plugins that you see, I just recently went to a hotel and they had those plugins. It was on the Gold Coast. They had the plugins in every single room. So it was a whole heap of Young Living people. So the first thing we did was unplug all of those plugins because they seriously mess with your sleep, like the strong aromas and the synthetic fragrances. mess with your sleep and mess with your kids' hormones and things like that. So you want to make sure that you ditch those. So instead, buy yourself a cold air diffuser. And there's lots of great ones that Young Living sells, which are perfect for the kids' room. So my girls have got a penguin diffuser, they've got Feather the Owl. I know that recently we had Shelley the Turtle. There's so many great diffusers that are perfect for kids. And so, and the other thing is, if you put the red light on, and I think I learned this from Danae actually, that the red light, if you have different colors, you can cycle through the colors, you can have a candle flickering mode, all different stuff. But the red light actually helps with sleep as well. So there you go, just a little tip on helping your children get to sleep.
Yeah, and great tips too, because that red light and the music in the diffusers as well. White noise. So just who is ready also to start making some rollers? Just on that, with the essential oils, you'll notice the round hole on the top. So the essential oil doesn't come out of the big hole in the middle, the drippolator. In fact, it's an air hole, similar to when you picture a hole into water container, so the water runs out of the tap faster. When you've got a water container and you pop a air hole in the top when you open up the bottom of it. So that's what happens with the essential oils too. There's actually, the oil comes out of the side rim around the side, like there's a hole along this. I can't show it to you on here, but if you have a look at your essential oil bottle, that's where it comes out of. So that's the fancy name, the drippolator, for the plastic bit that stops children being able to down a whole bottle of oil or tip it over and it all comes out. So it comes out slowly. So sometimes you might be dropping an essential oil in and you can't get the oil out straight away. So you just need to turn it around. Now that's something that, unless you're told that, sometimes you don't know that. Do you, Kim?
No, and I didn't know that for a very long time. The amount of times I've been, standing there literally trying to shake it out, and that's the worst thing you can do. You should really hold it on a 45-degree angle, and if it's not coming out, just roll it around in your fingers till it comes out. And some oils are really thick, like vetiver. I often put vetiver in my sleep oil rollers, and it's so thick, so I put it in my bra to warm it up and make it thinner before I actually drip it in. Some other tips, I guess, for using essential oils, always read the label. The labels actually on the Young Living oils have got a peel off bit so that you can peel it back, and there's more instructions underneath, just because they couldn't fit all of the information on the label, so you can always peel it back. But that tells you how to use it. So it tells you if you need to dilute it, whether there's any contraindications if you're pregnant or suffer from a medical condition. So it's a really good idea to read the labels. If an essential oil causes a skin condition, like a skin irritation or something like that, we should always dilute essential oils. But the thing, I had heard Amanda say this before, that essential oils and water don't mix. And the thing about applying them topically, if they do cause any kind of irritation or they're burning or anything like that, grab an oil. So grab V6 carrier oil, which is sold like a carrier oil that we use in Young Living, even some olive oil, some coconut oil, whatever, and put it on topically, because what it does is it helps sort of dilute the essential oils. If you splash on water, sometimes it actually can make it burn worse and feel worse. And same if it gets into your eye. If it gets into your eye, make sure you flush the area. There's actually 3 places that you shouldn't use essential oils. And as it says on the slide, they're your eyes, your ears, and your mucous membranes. Now, that's not to say that you can't find recipes for things like ear infections or, conjunctivitis, or even hemorrhoids or urinary tract infections, but make sure that you are getting advice not necessarily from some random internet page, but from a reliable source, because you don't certainly want to be messing with, your children's mucous membranes in their private areas, because it could actually make things worse. And the other thing, I guess, is around making sure that you some of the citrus oils like lemon are what we call photosensitive, and you shouldn't use them in areas where you're going to go out in the sun because you kind of end up maybe looking like Michael Jackson. So it's a good idea to avoid the citrus oils. All right, so what we're going to do, the first one we're going to make is the sleep oil. It's really simple for kids. As I said, you can, as an adult, you can make up, add in some vetiver, some cedar wood, even mix some lavender and orange. But today, our simple sleep roller for kids is literally 3 drops of lavender into a roller bottle. Now, Jeremy just bought me up these roller bottles, so they're pretty two-tone pink colour, not the green colour that I normally make the sleep one in. But it's just 3 drops, and as I said, hold it on an angle, 2, 3. If you aren't very, if you don't have very good hand-eye coordination or you shake or anything like that, get yourself a funnel. Can't see one of my little funnels anywhere, but get yourself a funnel. The other thing is, what I've been doing lately is you'll notice on the V6 bottles, I actually have this round bit at the top and a hole. If you save, and I did this when I went over to run workshops in Perth, I just pierced the top with a skewer and made the hole because it actually stops the bottles from leaking, particularly if you're traveling on planes or anything like that. But it makes it easier to get out. Instead of pouring out at a huge rate, it literally just sort of drips out. I probably can't show you, but like, can you see that I might need to move it closer, but basically it's dripping out fairly slowly. So it's a more manageable rate to pour out of the bottle by just piercing that hole in the top of it. So
or you could have the pump.
Yeah, the pump's a great thing too. So
pump it in there.
Yeah, there you go. So actually I didn't even read the recipe. It's 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of orange in the kids sleep one. So there you go. So always put the essential oils in first, because if you fill it up with the carrier oil and then you don't have any space, you won't be able to fit the essential oils in. So, and the thing about V6 oil, it's really sort of greasy on your skin. It actually absorbs pretty well. I've used lots of other carrier oils, and often they sit on your skin for a long time and they're hard to absorb. And the thing about this is, if you do have a child with a nut allergy, then I suggest using a carrier oil that does not contain nuts. So something like grapeseed oil or jojoba, and depending, because some children who have nut allergies are still allergic to avocado, still allergic to sesame, sunflower, whatever sort of, oils your child's not allergic to, then choose that to go into your roller bottles.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just when you're popping the roller bottle back on, so you can push it back on with your lid when you roll it back in there, which is a handy little tip. Now I've just closed that one on me to make the next roller. So you're learning a thing or two tonight, which is great. So the next one we're making is the Calm roller. And as we know, it can be a rough time, the start of school, for so many people, even us mums or dads, that there's lots of anxiety and excitement and lack of sleep, or the whole routine, getting back into routine. So the easiest way to combat stress is to use the Stress Away, which Kim said earlier about the name says it all, and peace and calming together. And this is what we call our Calm roller. And it's a great one also to use either of these ones in the morning on a diffuser bracelet. And you can send the kids to school with the diffuser bracelet on. One similar to this that I have on here that has the lava stones that the oil soaks into. So there's all different types and all different coloured ones you can get, but the way that we put it on in the morning for the kids is to do 1 drop, peace and calming, rub our wrists together and then roll the diffuser bracelet around, and that diffuser, beautiful peace and calming, will smell all day in the diffuser bracelet. So the peace and calming roller is 3 drops of Stress Away, 3 drops of Stress Away, again, similar to exactly how Kim made it, and then the 3 drops of Peace and Calming. And we are topping this one up too with just taking the time, the Peace and Calming with the blue tansy, and then the V6 oil in here. Now I've got a little bit of a mess going on here, so I'll just do it nice and slowly. But the Stress Away is honestly like a vacation in a bottle, with the vanilla, the lime, the lavender, and the copaiba, and then the Peace and Calming with the blue tansy and the citrus oils, which is so tasty, and everyone loves some Peace and Calming. We all also use it as our perfume.
Great, thanks, Amanda. The next one we're going to talk about is focus. Now, the best oil I find for focus is peppermint, because peppermint not only perks you up, it actually helps you to focus. There's been a lot of research on these 2 essential oils for helping not just children focus, but adults as well. There's studies that have been done on accountants and their data entry and how many errors they make. So they actually got them, doing exercises, and then they diffused lemon oil around them, and they actually made far fewer errors by, when they were diffusing the lemon oil. So the thing about focus, I know my girls have difficulty focusing on doing their homework or, absorbing information. And, I think it's even harder these days because kids are exposed to so many games and things like that overstimulate their brains, that they don't want to do the boring stuff like reading and schoolwork. So,
the ones that I have at the moment, the children that don't want to go and read.
Mine don't either. Oh, I've got my other daughter here going, I read. The oldest one does read a lot, but the youngest one doesn't. So anyway, so basically, reading's boring, says Tegan. So in our focus roller, so I've got cute little labels. If you buy them online, you get buy the roller set, you get the little labels as well. But if you've already got rollers at home, just make them up. And I know Danae uses her Dino printer, or even I think she's got a new machine now for making her own rollers. But if you're making a few rollers for your children, then you'll know what they are. But I always try to label them, because I've got so many rollers around the house. Like this one will float around now and I'll be like, what's that? And that's the sleep one we just made. Amanda talked before about the diffuser bracelet. You can actually put these 2 oils, peppermint and lemon, on a diffuser bracelet, or put the oils, because sometimes kids aren't allowed to wear the oils on their body because there might be other children in the classroom that are, have sensitivities or be allergic or anything like that. So put the oils on a little makeup remover pad, put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in their school bag. And same goes for the Peace and Calming and things like that. So that if they're feeling anxious during the day, they can literally go to their bag, unzip the Ziploc bag and just have a big whiff. It's so...
and that's a great tip too, because do you find sometimes that the girls, and my 2 are the same, is they're like, oh, that's too strong. Everyone tells me that I smell too strong.
Well, particularly because my girls have now started using Clary Sage for their period pain. And yes, they definitely say, oh, if I put that on, everybody will smell me. And so I'm like, put something over the top. So I started mixing Clary Sage with lavender and geranium so that it smells a bit more florally as opposed to the earthiness. So basically, once again, this has got 6 drops. It's 3 drops of peppermint and 3 drops of lemon into your carrier oil, into your roller bottle, and then fill up with your V6 carrier oil. It couldn't get any more simple than that. Great for adults too. If you're having difficulty, like maybe right now, because it's the end of the day and you're having difficulty focusing on today's workshop, get a bit of peppermint out, have a bit of a whiff, and it will seriously help you focus. I'm loving the smell of that, peppermint and lemon together. And they're on the back of your neck. Oh, I cannot I saw Sarah Farrah's not on, but the other day her son Luca was at a basketball game and Sarah was oiling all the kids up because it was 40 degrees even at 9 o'clock at night when they were playing basketball. So she was going around with the peppermint oil and rubbing it on the backs of their knees and on their inner elbows and the back of their necks to cool them down. So, you know, it's my go-to oil when I go to a dance festival or a music festival. So
it's too hot. That's how I've lived with the peppermint.
Yeah.
And then some more of the focus oils that are not in the starter bundle or the beginner's kit, which are great for focus, are rosemary, cedarwood, vetiver, like Kim mentioned earlier. Now, vetiver is really thick again, and it does need a little bit of a warming up to get out, but it is a classic one where you can really see the oil hole on the rim there where it comes out of. So it's another one that is one that, like I mentioned earlier, that you could be holding up this way and it not dripping. And then when you turn it around, you can really notice the difference. And also brain power. These are all great oils for focus, extra oils. So use these oils along with the calm for an extra benefit. Happy. We all want our children to be happy, don't we, at school? But there's times when they're just feeling flat, and then that's when I'm very grateful that we have our oils. As I mentioned, or we mentioned before, that orange makes us happy. So, and great for sleep. It's also great to make us feel good, and it's a happy oil. So in the happy blend, we have orange, and we're also using frankincense. I've lost my frankincense. Frankincense and orange. Again, 3 drops in each of these. Pop it in a roller, and Kim has a beautiful colour for the roller. And kids have big emotions. They really do. They're just like adults. We all have big emotions, and I like to use it when we're feeling overwhelmed and need a little bit of grounding. And so this is a great one also for the kids. And it's orange and frankincense together. It's not too strong. It's not like your peace and calmings and your stress away. It's a little bit more subtle. So they might like this one to use at school more so than the stronger blends.
One of the things that a lot of people ask me about is, well, can't I just go to the supermarket or Target or any of those, shops and buy my oils there? And then they wonder why they don't work. And I guess, you really do get what you pay for when it comes to essential oils, and quality does matter. It matters right from the time that they plant the seeds in the ground through to when they bottle the essential oils. So, you don't want to have plants that have been sprayed with nasty chemicals like Roundup and things like that, because when those essential oils are cooked up in the cooker, like as part of the distillation process, all of the chemicals are actually released by the plant and rise with the essential oil. And when they cool down, they're in the essential oil. And that's the last thing you want, is to be going to the trouble of using something natural from plants and finding out that it's got all these chemicals that were sprayed on the farms where you've bought your essential oils. I love that Young Living actually allows you to go and visit their farm so you can see for yourself, like, the proof is in the pudding, I guess. Like, you can literally go and see how they grow their oils, how they weed them. Like, the amount of stories that I've heard about hand weeding, sheep to weed them, they don't spray nasty chemicals to keep away the weeds. They even use essential oils, like one of the next ones I'm going to talk about, DiGize, to actually cleanse the soil. They use oils to keep the pests away, things like peppermint and lavender and even lemon to keep pests away. It really does matter where you buy your essential oils, and you want to know that they're good quality. You don't want to be putting them on your kids and worrying that, that something bad is going to happen. So, I guess, make sure that. I just realized that I read your bit, Amanda.
No, it's totally fine. And that's why we have the seed to seal guarantee. Like, it's they creating these products for a purpose, not for a profit. Like, it's a promise that Young Living has our best interests in mind, and they have their own farms. Again, like Kim said, you can go and visit their farms, the partner farms. They all have to abide by the same rules and regulations that they set with the Seed to Seal, the sourcing, the science, and the standards. That goes from when it's grown right through to the other end when it comes all the way to our table, or comes all the way to into our home. And they go above and beyond organic standards, like way more, and to provide natural products that actually work. You know, the farms, again, Kim said that no pesticides, the use of sheep to go and help weed around the lavender farms. Like, if a batch doesn't meet the high standards, Young Living won't bottle it up. So it goes for all their other products too, like the V6 oil and any of their skincare range and their makeup range and their cleaning range. It all comes from the Seed to Seal promise.
The last roller that we want to show you and talk about is actually called the Tummy Roller. Now, Young Living does also sell a product that I love called Tummy Jais. But if you don't yet have Tummy Jais, and you have what I call the beginner's box, and you know, in your beginner's box you get DiGize. Now, DiGize is around energizing your digestive system, so that's why we're going to put that one in the tummy roller. Amanda, did you want to tell Zach's story about
well, both my kids go for this. I think they also, even though the smell is quite strong, they like the feeling that it does on their tummy. So when they do feel unwell or unsettled, or it's funny, even when they're going to sleep sometimes, that they are not quite right, is that they will go for this DiGize roller, and we've got one everywhere, and we do use it quite a bit. Like, it's one of the ones that probably when you first get this kit is that you'll go, oh, what is this? And you might sit it in there for ages before you actually really dive into it and use DiGize, because of also the smell. But yeah, Zach, it's really good, and he settles and goes to bed, even though, like, and that's been going on for years. Even though he's 10 now. But consistency, we really need to, back to the tummy roller with the peppermint and the DiGize.
Well, yeah, and this roller is really simple to make. All of them are like 3 drops. So 3 drops of DiGize and 3 drops of peppermint. And as Amanda said, the peppermint, we wouldn't give this to under 3s because it's got peppermint in it, but over 3s, the peppermint's really cooling, and you can feel that, and that's that feeling that Zach, you know, enjoys. And DiGize contains all of your essential oils that, you know, for generations have been used in cooking, especially Ayurvedic cooking and health, because it's things like tarragon, ginger, juniper, fennel, and peppermint, and even lemongrass. They're all in DiGize. Now, not only is it good after you've eaten a big meal, or, you know, maybe you're a bit blocked up, or maybe you're a bit runny, but also it's great for, you know, in general, happy tummies. But it's also good if your child's got butterflies. So if they're anxious when they're starting school, you can use this to help with the butterflies as well. So, you know, it's just multi-use, I guess. So once again, 3 drops of DiGize, 3 drops of peppermint, and fill it up with the good old V6.
So consistency really is the key through, and again, for all of us to use our oils and our products, is that we need to be using them. Like, parents would wait until their kiddo would come home from school sick, or need to go to the doctor at night time, but now if you use these regularly, you'll limit the need for kids to get colds and flus and any kind of, like, everything that goes around. If you consistently use them, and then we can keep the anxiety and the stress and the calmness in the house. So there's nothing is foolproof. But if you find yourself and your kiddos needing to stay home, double the frequency with which that you might use some of the oils, or there's other popular oils for wellness, being frankincense, the oregano, the bergamot, the eucalyptus, thieves, like that comes in the starter bundle, is that they're great for keeping on top of us and keeping all the yucks out of the house.
And I guess the thing is that, as I said before, there's nothing better than having these on hand so that you can use them when you need them. And that's what I find, is that I'm always going to my essential oil desk reference to, look up different blends that I can use for different issues. And, and pretty well most of them are what I've already got in my beginner's box. So are you ready to get oily? If you haven't already got started with Young Living, there are 3 ways that you can get started. First of all, there's the premium starter bundle, which is that beginner's box that I talked about. So you get to choose a diffuser, and then you get 12 of our most popular essential oils and blends. Lavender, peppermint, lemon, frankincense, orange, lots of the ones we've talked about today. You also get RC, which is great for the winter months to help with happy breathing. Peace and calming, Valor. We haven't talked about Valor today because it's not in any of these things, but it is my go-to for when my girls are feeling anxious. I pop it in the diffuser or make up a roller blend. It smells amazing, and you can wear it as a human diffuser as well.
And it's good for courage and confidence, and that's the one that we all like. Even us now, before we even do an oily chat, all of us would have a good whiff of Valor.
Yeah. Panaway, like if your child's really into sport, like my youngest is like a keen soccer player, and she said thank you. and she, Panaway, like it's really funny. I can't think, what's that oil that you've got that I put on you all the time, the yellow one? Kid Power, is that it? Yeah. She's got her very own, because that, she's forever bumping and falling and whatever else. And so she's got her own version of Panaway. There's Stress Away, which is great. Mum's best friend, Digize. It comes with some Thieves spray. Now, I don't know if you've used Thieves spray, but I spray down the shopping trolleys, the baskets, the toilet seats, even if I haven't got any of the waterless hand sanitizer, I literally spray the Thieves spray on our hands to, keep all the nasties away. It comes with some roller fitments that you can pop on the little rollers on the top, like Amanda's got there on the Panaway. And you even get 2 Ninja Red sachets. In summer, if you've got kids, pop your Ninja Red sachets in the freezer and you can eat them like icy poles, or even pop them in your kids' lunchbox to keep it cool throughout the day. And the premium starter bundle, or the basic beginner's box, comes, they start at $269, depending on which diffuser you choose. Now that's like a whole, essential oil bundle that, like some of these oils, like
first aid kit right there, isn't it?
Well, and the thing is that frankincense, if you bought frankincense, Thieves and Panaway, you would be getting your money's worth, because those 3 oils are, basically add up to that much, and they are amazing oils, and there's so many different ways that you could use those 3 oils. The second way is to customize your enrollment order. So maybe we've talked about some oils today. You don't want to get the beginner's box because, you don't think that you would use it all, although believe me, you do. Even when Amanda got started, I remember saying to her, you should start with the premium starter bundle. And she was like, no, I'm just going to start with some of these products that I want by the next month. What were you doing, Amanda?
Yeah, I was buying the box.
Yes. Everyone does, because you realize what good value it is and how many things you can use all these oils for throughout your home. But if you do just want to customize your enrollment order, you can do that as well. You can choose products to get started with a free wholesale account. And whoever told you about tonight's workshop can help you get started with any of these 3 options. And the third option is to get a basic starter kit, and then choose whatever products you want. So, speak to the person who told you about today's workshop, and they can help you to get started. The other thing I want to mention is Essential Rewards. Oh my God, this is another thing that not everyone starts when they first get started, but they wish they did. With Essential Rewards, you actually get a percentage of your order back in product credit. So it's like they put, you start off at 10% for the first 3 months, and then it goes to 20% and then up to 25%. So literally a quarter of what you order every month goes back into your account for you to spend however you want on whatever products you want. So, I buy all my cleaning products and my skincare and all of my low tox stuff. And then I, can save up my points to buy the more expensive things, or the things that I've really been saving up for, like a special oil, or, the Orchid face mask, or the beauty serum. I mean, there's so many things that you could use your points for. So, and it's like, once again, I cannot stress how important it is for busy mums, because you can actually set it and forget it, or you can change it every month based on what you might have run out of. So I kind of keep a running tally of products that we, might have run out of Inner Defense, and coming up to the winter months and I want to stock up, or Thieves or whatever. I guess Essential Rewards is a great way to make sure you maximize getting your points, and you also save on shipping as well. Now, if you get started with anyone in our team, we actually have some free gifts. We have a welcome booklet, and we customize our welcome packs to suit, who you are and what you're interested in. So if you get started with the cleaning products, then we're probably more likely to give you a spray bottle or something like that. But if you get started with the premium starter bundle, we can give you some labels and some jars and some roller bottles to get started. And, my gift to you for getting started with anyone in our team is that I'll give you a set of these beautiful colour roller bottles, so you can get started making the focus, the calm, the sleep, the tummy oils. So, it's a pretty good incentive. The thing that I want to say, now I couldn't update this graphic because I don't own it, but I just want to tell you that helping your friends get started is a great way to get your kit for free. At the moment, for every person that you help to get started and they buy their own beginner's box, Young Living will pay you $97.50. So pretty well, at $269, if you help 3 friends, not the 4 that this graphic says, you'll get your bundle for free. So we'd love to help you have an online workshop or a face-to-face workshop. Get a few girls around for a chat, around a table, and we can help you get your oils for free just by helping 3 friends get started. As I say, you get that $97.50. So it's a pretty amazing thing. Maybe you've always been looking to earn some extra cash, or get your products for free. And this is a great way to do it. So there you go.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Like, it's not just about essential oils. It's also about a lifestyle change, and changing the way that we become healthier families, and helping our friends and other family members that might want to, are looking for that change, and people don't know what they don't know until they know, and then they can make a change. So thank you for coming along tonight. And if anyone has any questions afterwards, please let us know, or this has been recorded so we can also share this workshop with you, and keep an eye out for what's coming up next.
Yes, thanks, Amanda, and thank you everyone for joining.